average American spends $1,100 on coffee every year.
I did not know that.
So we're on our way to the La Barba warehouse right now, where they do their roasting, where they order their coffee. Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're gonna learn about coffee, specifically how to brew good coffee at home. So today we're gonna be outlining some popular pour over methods that you can do at your house, as well as visiting these shops where you can find these coffees. So here we are at La Barba Coffee. We're gonna talk to Thomas Warmath. He's gonna give us the lowdown on where good coffee comes from and how to select that. So let's go check that out.
And I'm here too.
Hey! Everybody, this is Thomas Warmath. Here we are at La Barba. Tell us a little bit about what you do here.
So a whole wide range of stuff, but with respect to coffee specifically, we plan out what coffees we're going to be offering over many months. What that process looks like is getting samples from farms or importers who are kind of in direct contact with the farm and orchestrate getting the beans from the farm and the processing to North America. I'm looking for something that's going to be certainly of a certain quality. Relationship through which we're getting it is in somebody who we're confident is actually caring about the people at every stage of the process, and not just trying to get rock bottom prices.
In regards to how specialty coffee specifically is processed,
yeah.
I understand there's different processes for that. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the kind of two most common you'll see. The most common is going to be wash process, where all the fruit, it's a little bit more like a cherry, where all the fruit is washed off after it's been harvested, and you end up with a seed that then gets a bit of a fermentation and is dried, that then becomes our green coffee. There's also a natural process in which all that fruit is left on, and the coffee ferments some with the fruit on the seed, which gives it most often a very noticeably fruity character that can err on the side of being fermenty. And then there's a handful of processes: honey process, red honey process, black honey process, all in between there, which are all just varying degrees of getting the fruit off the coffee seed and drying it out in different stages.
What is your favorite process, and what is your favorite specialty coffee?
I don't know that there's one favorite process. I don't want the same coffee every single time. We've had a natural process Ethiopian coffee. It's really fruity. I love that coffee. Probably not one I want to drink every day, but when I do drink it, it's fantastic. But I also, our Guatemala Manos de Mujer, it's a really sweet coffee that for anybody, myself included, who just wants a really pleasant cup of coffee. There's a wide variety of coffees, and a wide variety of coffees from any one region or country, but there are some generalizations you can make about it. A lot of the African coffees, such as Ethiopian or Kenyan coffees, do tend to have more bright fruit, spice flavors. A lot of the Central American coffees are sometimes termed central milds because they have a much more mild character. You're going to have genre breakers in any region, but that's some of what you can expect. But even within a region, the elevation at which the coffee is grown and the density, the shade it might have, all of those are going to impact your results.
This video is about how to make good coffee at home.
Yeah.
When you brew coffee at home, how do you do it? I understand you have an espresso machine, but when you don't use an espresso machine, what do you use?
Yeah, so I really like I have a variety of pour overs, but the one that I favor the most is plastic V60. It's about $7 on Amazon. I use a paper filter. It's a cone that gets very wide at the top. What I like about it is I feel like I have a good sense of appropriate grind for it. It gives me the clean cup of coffee that I enjoy the most.
Nice. And what coffee do you use at your house?
It's always changing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Thomas. It's been a pleasure learning about coffee with you. We're going to continue on our way and highlight different shops along the way. We're on our way to Honeysuckle Coffee Co. now, and we're going to learn the Kalita Wave pour-over method from our friend Tim.
Hey guys, we're here at Honeysuckle Coffee Co. Play a game, and this game is where SIAH and I will go for our 5-year anniversary. Okay? Here we go. Here we go. Ready, 2, 3, go. We're gonna go
to the North Pole.
Wait, let me try one more time.
Where?
Indonesia!
So here we are at Honeysuckle Coffee Co. Is that correct?
Correct.
Honeysuckle. Can you tell us a little bit about how Honeysuckle got started and what you guys do here?
Absolutely, absolutely. So my wife and I, I've got a food and beverage background. We've been into specialty coffee for quite some time. We've always wanted to open up a shop, and we just figured if we're going to put a large sum of money into something, why don't we do something we want to do? Looked into financing, looked into like locations, looked into different coffee roasting companies, all that kind of stuff, and kind of landed where we are. We wanted to create a place that would foster everybody getting to know each other. So moms, dads, old people, young people, doesn't really matter, but like really create a place where people could come together and really get to know each other on a real organic and real level.
And I understand you guys even have like a kids play area in your cafe.
We do. Yep, we do. We've got a great place for kids to come. We have kind of a small dividing wall as well, so that the person on the computer doesn't have to be afraid of being bombarded by like a 2-year-old kind of screaming and whatnot, and so it kind of creates like a nice barrier, but still it's not completely separated, where everybody's still involved in each other's lives in a sense.
Cool. And so what do you guys do coffee-wise here? You do coffees, you make your own pastries in your kitchen back here, which is super awesome. We had a cookie earlier, it was amazing. What different pour-over methods do you use? And espresso, what do you do on espresso?
Absolutely. So yes, so we use a local roaster called Barba. So we do, of course, like a batch brew. We do espresso drinks, a smaller amount with a greater potency and a different kind of flavor profile. And then we also do pour-over coffees as well. And so we do offer like an AeroPress. We offer a French press actually as well, if people would like that. But we brew through like the Kalita Wave, and then we also brew through like a small Chemex. We love the different kinds of brew methods just because they do produce different flavors within the cup. Different coffees taste better through different brew methods.
So what do you think the advantages are of using a Kalita Wave?
The Kalita Wave, even from a home brewing standpoint, the great thing is you've got only 3 points of exit, and they're kind of smaller holes, so you're getting a much more controlled extraction. And also, I mean, like the Kalita's got a nice flat bottom brewer. This is the Kalita 155. It also comes in the 185. I like the 155 because it only allows you to pour so much water at one time. It kind of keeps you in like a certain boundary level. We do kind of a low agitation method where the idea is that you're like creating a nice solid coffee bed. It's all about taste as well. So I mean, if you're brewing at home and you find that you really do like it the other way, then you can do whatever you think tastes better. I mean, it's all about subjective taste anyways, really.
So let's get into it. Let's watch you. We're gonna have you make us a Kalita Wave, okay, and talk through it, the entire process. Obviously there's more in-depth tutorials online, so you don't have to get like crazy in-depth.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Excellent, excellent. Well, yep, today so we're gonna be brewing up like Labarba's Ethiopia Cassarada. I won't say too much about it because it's really more about the brewer, but it's a naturally processed Ethiopia. I like that kind of the fruitiness you get out of that naturally processed coffee. Yeah. And so we already have coffee portioned up into about 25 grams. What we're using today, so we've got like the Kalita Wave, we've got the Yama, it's a Yama like 500 milliliter decanter, and then we've got the Kaya Pearl scale. And the scale is great as well, which I don't need to get into. I'm gonna go ahead and start with just some hot water. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of hot water over that filter because those filters have been traveling thousands of miles with each other, kind of rubbing against each other, getting paper dust all over. So what I'm doing is I'm washing out the paper dust and kind of getting rid of some of that paper flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and let this get done. I'm gonna go ahead and grind my coffee. What we're using is a Volcanic EK43, so this might not be relevant for like a home use, but we're just grinding it to a kind of a nice kind of a medium to coarse grind. And so now that this guy's drained out, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the water.
Can I just look at this real quick?
Absolutely.
Sand texture, kind of.
And so the water that we're brewing with is gonna land around like about 202 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and tear out my scale, then I'm gonna add the coffee to that. There we go. 25 grams, like I said earlier. Actually 26 grams. So I'm gonna adjust my recipe for that. So I do a 1:15 ratio with my Kalita Wave. Different coffees, you know, would require a different ratio as well, but with this particular coffee, that's kind of what I like to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear out my weight, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start the extraction. So you're gonna wanna shake down that coffee bed so it's nice and flat to start with. As soon as I add some water, I'm gonna start my timer. And so I like to kind of slowly get that, this is the section called the bloom, which is called that because you're gonna see it's gonna kind of grow in size. So generally what I like to do is I like to double the weight of the coffee I've got in there. So I did 26 grams of coffee, and so I did double that weight, maybe just a little bit over with my bloom weight. So what I'm doing now is just kind of making sure that all that coffee's gotten nice and wet. I'm just gonna rinse this off real quick. And then for the bloom, I like to wait about 45 seconds. There's got a chance for that CO2 within that coffee to escape. So I'm gonna go ahead and start extracting now. And so I like to do a constant pour method. I'll try to keep it pouring constantly, and then I'll end up having to slow it just a little bit just because I don't wanna overflow and get grinds in the decanter itself. But I like to do a little bit of like just a kind of a couple of laps around the edge, and then I like to do a center pour. And so we're gonna, so I started at 26 grams of coffee, so I'm gonna bring this to a final weight of 390 grams, which is about a 12-ounce cup. And I mean, the thing I love about about brewing your own, like a pour over coffee. I mean, if you find that maybe you like certain flavors that you're not getting out of that coffee. I mean, my method is that you take that whole method and you don't switch it up completely, but maybe you take that method and maybe tweak a part of that, where like maybe you change the temperature in the water, or maybe you change the grind size, or maybe you change the like some places do what's called like a pulse pour, where they pour like little amounts of water at a time, and then and you know, something like that. Like you could just kind of switch up an aspect of the brew instead of the entirety. There we go. And that's the full weight of the 390 grams.
So you put 26 in.
Yep.
26 grams in, 390 out. That's a 1 to 16.
1 to 15. Yep. And then just want to let this drip out. This one finished at about 3 minutes, 15 seconds total time.
So what time do you think people should aim for?
I generally try to aim for like a 2.5 minutes. That seems to work really well. If you have too long of time, like say you ended up with like a 4-minute brew time, what that could mean is your grind is too coarse, or I'm sorry, too fine. If you end up with like, you know, like a 1.5 minute brew time, maybe your grind is too coarse. What you should be looking for at the end, I mean, this isn't exactly a great representation, but it should be a nice kind of flat, like a flat bed. What you should see, like in that coffee itself, it should have the appearance of like a wet sand, as opposed to like wet mud, like where mud is like really fine, granular. This should have like that appearance of like wet sand, and which it does.
Awesome.
So that's
so much.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're gonna taste it, and we don't have to do that here, but let's display your awesome little plates right here. Someone made these for them, and so they just put the picture on this side right here.
Exactly.
And then drink out of there. And how long do you think we should wait for it to cool, or you think it's cool enough?
I do. So yeah. So as you're drinking this, I mean, certain coffees are different, of course. But with this particular, this Ethiopia, I like it from all ranges. I really do like it when it's hot. Like you get some of those nice kind of strawberry notes, and then as it kind of cools, you start tasting like the jasmine, a little bit of actually not jasmine, a little bit of like that, a little bit of that cocoa, a little bit of that banana in there as well.
Awesome.
So
sweet. Thank you so much for
my
showing
pleasure,
us
yeah.
that.
I'm glad
It's been
to
a
do it.
pleasure seeing your shop and seeing what you
thank
guys
you.
are doing and creating here. I think you guys are doing a killer job.
Thanks, man.
So yeah, let's just taste this.
Totally.
Sasha. This is your part, Sasha. You get to taste the coffee. That's what you do. This was brewed using the Kalita Wave method, and this is an Ethiopian Kasarada natural process coffee. We're gonna go ahead and try it. It's been cooling for about 5 minutes. Sasha loves coffee. She's very particular though. She's like one of those coffee drinkers that loves coffee but doesn't know anything about it, and is extremely picky with her coffee. If it doesn't taste right, she hates it. So we're gonna see if she likes it. That's the real test.
Also, this size portion's like pretty good. We have 2 8-ounce cups that are like full, and we still have more coffee left.
Yeah.
So if you're on a date, on a budget, like I said, it's so good. It is so sweet.
Since this coffee is a natural process, that means that it was processed with the berries on the coffee. Done properly, it makes the bean fruity and very sweet. I think that's what you like. You like wine, and so you like natural processed coffees. If you're a wine drinker, you're gonna find a lot more satisfaction in drinking a natural processed coffee. That's just my opinion. So that's what this is. It has a lot of berry, a lot of fruit. And that's what you like a lot of the time.
Yeah, this is really good. All right, should we get to go Pep and check out our next shop?
Yes, for sure. We're on our way now. From here, we're gonna go to the bean yard, and they're gonna show us a siphon method. So that is a little bit more expensive of a purchase, but still in the long run, it's going to save you money, and you're gonna be able to make better coffee at home.
So we'll post here how much the Kalita Wave will cost you and your pitcher. It's one of the more affordable methods, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
See you later.